Congrats on the win, Pablo. Quite a back and forth game. Obviously, you guys concede early. The attack is looking great, but I'm curious about the defense. Obviously, you have some guys out, but to give up 2 goals and kind of in the way that you guys did tonight, what do you take away from that side of the ball tonight?
Yeah, again, we have both Bodie and Noviedo back there, who for me have done a fantastic job in the games that they've played. And again, the expectation isn't that they play like Justin Glad and Vera, but they do a job for the team, and I think they did that. And that's the, I think with the ball they were both fantastic, and and against the ball I think they did really well. And obviously, every team misses players, but you have to find a way. You have to find solutions, and those guys have played really well together. And I thought it was a crazy game from that perspective, but I felt like we controlled the game and created a lot. Probably or the game where we created the best opportunities all year. And so striking that balance. Listen, if you're going to be putting 4 or 5 guys in the box, you're going to be open at times. But I thought they handled it well, man. I think they did a really good job. And the most important thing for me tonight was the attitude. And speaking to the players after the game, their comment was, and every single one of them said it, was the mindset of the group. Again, Houston for me is a top team in this league. They concede very little, and they got killers up front. And I think we had a really good performance on both sides of the ball. And at the end of the day, I think it's a really fair result.
And then first goal from Ojeda in an RSL jersey tonight. Took him, I think, like 56 games to get it. But obviously he's been a very steady presence for you guys. What does that just mean for him to add that element tonight?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Even for midfielders that don't score a lot of goals, I think that moment they do a lot of the work behind the scenes that is seldomly praised on TV. They're the engine room. They're the guys that make it tick. And when they get a reward like Ojeda did tonight, and Emeka could have had one as well, it's fantastic. And the greatest thing for me is the application of the work that we've been doing for the last 10 days. And the focus really was getting numbers inside the box, right? And the only way to do that is if the guys up front make selfless runs to push their back line back so that our pivots can get up. And so for both of our pivots to have really good opportunities tonight, it's awesome when the team takes responsibility for these type of moments and these type of games. And I couldn't be happier, with Ojeda, Emeka, and really the whole group.
Paulo, talking about that, do you think a goal is something that Ojeda needs in this team?
A goal?
Yeah, to continue to score.
Well, again, I think what you saw tonight is the team that we want to be. Everything is a work in progress. We can draw stuff on boards. We can do magnets. What you're trying to do is essentially create a group that is thinking the same, whether you're a forward or a goalkeeper, right? And what we're trying to do is get numbers in the box, not just to score on one opportunity, but then to, keep teams pinned into their box, right? And so I think if we continue to play like we did tonight, those guys will be in positions to score more goals, which hasn't been the case. And so a real credit to the guys up front, making space for these guys to make the runs, but just the aggressive mentality from the group today is everything that we've been. And to really turn it up a notch and create the chances that we did tonight is really a testament to the quality we have in our locker room, the belief that we have in the locker room, and we need to keep doing it.
Speaking about goals, we have the shots at the end of the game were like 18 to 8 on target, and we only scored 3 goals out of those changes. Are you happy with those percentage?
Listen, the hardest thing to do in football is to score goals, and I'm sure, the chances that we didn't capitalize on, the guys would have it back. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and everyone would cost $30 million. It's not easy. It's not easy. The most important thing from a coaching perspective is that we are creating opportunities on goal. And then it's the moment, it's execution, it's all these little things. So the more chances you create, the chances are you're going to score more goals. So tonight we struggled at times, but again, that's all secondary to really the mindset and the ability to defend the right way And again, when you defend the right way, you create wonderful goal-scoring opportunities like the first goal that Andres scored. Football is everything. It's not just scoring. It's not just defending. It's everything. It's mindset. It's belief. It's application of work, and it's execution. And the guys, for the most part tonight, did a fantastic job.
Can you talk a little more about that first goal by Gomez? Because that looked really optimistic. The ball wasn't played for him. I don't think Bodie had any idea Andres would end up on the end of that ball. It looked like it was focus, effort, hustle, work rate.
Yeah, no, one of the things that we focused on is because they commit so many numbers to the build centrally is to really squeeze our wingers inside. And I think we talk about Andres and what he's been doing from an attacking perspective, but his ability to sniff out and the nuanced defending he does is through the roof. It's through the roof. And so even if that ball wasn't towards him, he's just got a real knack of where last year at times I felt like he gave up on plays if it didn't come to his feet. This is a new dynamic that we're seeing with Andres, which is being opportunistic and to score goals and to keep defenses or to keep our opponents from building so easily. You've got to play cat and mouse at times, right? And I think Diego Luna, Chicho, Andres, and Crooksy did a fantastic job of really making it difficult for them to have easy build-outs. And I think you saw it in the first half and the second half. This is a team that never goes long on goal kicks, never. And we got them, and that's when you win that psychological game.
Were you surprised how often you won the ball, not just in the attacking half, but in the attacking third? I mean, right from the get-go, before teams get fatigued at elevation.
Yeah, no, again, that was a big area of emphasis this week, was on defending, and really the focus was on the front four guys. And I felt like if we can do a really good job of winning those balls, then you have Chicho, who's great in transition, Andres, Luna is great in transition, and so, and that's why it's we talk about attacking, but if you go back and look at the chances we created, I guarantee you a lot of those chances came from good defending, closing the space that they want to attack in, and then using that as a springboard to create opportunities on goal.
Given that there were so many golden opportunities that weren't finished, and the mentality piece you talk about, not giving up a goal because everyone's flat after not finishing a golden opportunity, is that one of the places you look for the mentality? I mean, somebody doesn't score in a breakaway, there's often a letdown in the next 60 seconds, and there wasn't. Yeah,
and again, I think this is where the culture piece comes in, because if it's just the coach saying it, it goes in one ear, out the other. But when everyone in that locker room, before the game said, this game's about attitude, this game's about mindset, we have nothing to do with it. That's them saying what they need to win the game, And so I think, again, cultures that are player-led and coach-guided is the sweet spot. And I think you saw it tonight, their mindset when things didn't go their way, the reactions, right? And I think that's another place you can see it is in moments where we got broken, what's the reaction? Is it, oh, man, this guy, and throw your hands up in the air? Or is it get back because my teammate's out of position and I want to make sure I stop a goal? And so, credit to those guys in the locker room for taking this game by the scruff of the neck.
Can you talk about Ojeda's finish? Because it looked really poised. It looked like he slowed down. And when you haven't scored in 55 games and you have that moment, it's human nature to speed up. And he almost took it like a penalty, sending Clark the wrong way.
It was a calm, classy finish. And to be fair, when we're playing small-sided games during the week, Ojeda has a knack of putting those in. The biggest difference from this game to games in the past is we didn't have that space for our pivots to get into because our 10s were occupying that space. And so our pivots are always can only go they're not going to run beyond, right? So, but he's found himself in those positions during the week when we play small-sided games because the space it lends itself to him finishing. But again, being able to do it under pressure when the game's tied is just a credit to Ojeda.
You had a lot of Monarchs on the bench, and you got another home game on Saturday. Will you get anybody back? Will Vera be available for that game? Do you know that?
Yeah, I think the Vera is going to be questionable. He gets in late tomorrow night, and we'll just see. He's been gone for 10 days. He's been doing some physical work on the side, but there's nothing that can mimic training with the team and the energy you expel when you're just running the hundreds or the 75s or the treadmill, when there's people chasing you, when the ball's bouncing, when you got to make decisions and be fit. So we'll have to check and see. It would be great to put him back in there, and so we won't make that decision until we get a better idea as to how he feels and what he's been doing.
Pablo, nada más quería preguntarte algo con respecto a los defensas, a los centrales. Sabemos que no son sus posiciones naturales. Tú fuiste central en tu tiempo como jugador. ¿Qué les decías, qué consejos les dabas para que ellos pudieran sentirse tranquilos y cómodos jugando en esa posición? Que si bien ya lo han hecho en 3 ocasiones, creo, en esta temporada, ¿qué es algo que tú les recomiendas hacer?
Lo que hacen muy bien el Bodie y el Braian es cuando juegan hacia el 9, lo marcan bien apretado y el otro siempre le da cobertura. Eso es lo más importante. También lo difícil es la cobertura en medio de la cancha, porque a veces el Braian tiene que salir a la banda y el Bodie a veces, y eso lo venimos trabajando. Lo más importante es que juegan suelto, que no ponen tanta presión en los movimientos que juegan, porque saben cómo queremos jugar en la defensa como un equipo, y es muy importante que se expresan su fútbol con el balón, sin el balón. Y hoy día, para mí, lo que ayudó es la presión que pudimos poner enfrente de la línea atrás. ¿Por qué? Porque pueden, ¿cómo se dice? Definir dónde el balón, si tenemos buena presión, es más fácil. Si no hay presión, ahora tenés que jugar dentro de 2 o 3 jugadores y tomar más, hay que hacer más decisiones para el grupo. Pero yo creo que lo de frente, lo del medio, presionaron bien, hicieron la jugada más predecible para los centrales, y para mí jugaron un muy buen partido.
So the question was just relating to Bodie and Braian in the middle. And he asked, since he played in center back during his career, what advice did he have for them? He said that they've played very good there this season, that they obviously, something that helps them out a lot is that they play freely. They know how the team wants to play defense, so they kind of just play freely and let their work do it. But also that they do very good at marking up on the other team's 9, and that they have good coverage for each other. There are obviously still sometimes and some occasions where their positioning isn't where it should be, but they're obviously working on that with them not being that natural position. But that the pressure up top with the midfield and the forward line makes it predictable for them, so that they're able to get good positioning on their opponents.
Y bueno, también en esta semana, a pesar de las lesiones, de las bajas, se confirmó que Fidel se iba a México a jugar. ¿Cómo te enteraste tú de esta noticia? ¿Cómo la recibiste? Y sobre todo, ¿qué fue lo que le dijiste a él ya al momento de despedirte? Porque era un jugador muy importante en tu rotación esta temporada.
Sí, yo creo, para mí, cuando un jugador tiene la oportunidad de jugar en un país donde quiere jugar, es una gran oportunidad para el Fidel. Él está decidiendo si se queda con los Estados Unidos o se va con México, y yo creo que con él ahora, jugando con Chivas, le da la oportunidad. Va a jugar enfrente de todos los jugadores mexicanos cada semana. Yo creo que también los 6 meses que pasó con nosotros era un buen aprendizaje del fútbol profesional. Y como el año pasado jugó en el USL, ahora en el MLS, y ahora es otro desafío, claro. Y yo creo que la presión que tenemos acá no es lo mismo que jugar en México. Es muy difícil, pero está muy contento con la oportunidad de jugar con Chicharito, jugar en una liga nueva y seguir creciendo como jugador. Me dijo que tiene un poco nerviosismo, pero es normal. Y ahora es el próximo escalón para su carrera.
So the question was just regarding Fidel's transfer, like how did he find out about it and what did he think? That Fidel just has a great opportunity when a player has an opportunity to play in a country where they want to play, and it's obviously a great opportunity for them. That Fidel is still in the moment deciding whether he wants to play for the U.S. or the Mexico national team. So obviously being able to play with all the Mexican players and Chicharito and just playing in a different league is just going to be something that helps him in his career. Obviously the last 6 months with RSL, it's helped him learn as a professional for the pro game, but that he's just happy for him. Obviously Fidel's nervous, but that comes with a new transfer.
Thanks, Pablo.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, Diego's coming in 2 seconds. What was I gonna say? Friday we're here at 10. Standard operating procedure, I guess, for RSVPs in the game and the training session. So I think we're gonna have Diego tonight. We'll probably have Ojeda after him. So, what's up, brother?
Congrats on the win and on the goal, Diego. That strike seemed pretty confident from you.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive goal. Can you just kind of maybe walk us through leading up to that goal and just how it felt to get that goal?
Yeah, I think right before, I think I had one chance, right, where I cut in and did the same thing. I tried to place it and didn't come off, so I think that one, I kind of had a little anger in it and kind of cut in and just kind of ripped it into that top right. So, yeah, I was happy to make good contact, and, yeah.
And then as a team tonight is a bit of a back-and-forth game. Obviously, Houston scores first. You guys kind of have to equalize and keep up and end up winning in the end. From an overall standpoint, defensively as well, giving up 2 goals. Obviously, you don't have everybody in the defense right now. But what are some takeaways on that side of the ball of maybe how you guys can improve? And
I think, conceding early is always, not good, right? So I think that's always something we want to improve on, always scoring the first goal. And then, like you said, there's people we're missing, but I don't think that has anything to do with our performances and goals leading. Everyone's capable of doing what they need to do, and I think we were just short on some of these things. So I think we just need to continue to push through. But, of course, I think we could have scored, 4, 5, 6 goals in that game. So I think other than that, we just need to put our chances away.
Diego, congrats on the goal. And I kind of want to ask you after the goal, what was the motivation for the dance?
Yeah, no, it's just something that some of me and my friends and Bodie kind of all do. It's like a little TikTok dance, so it was kind of funny just to throw it out there and give the fans something funny to laugh at and stuff. So it was cool, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you're talking about the goals and how we have opportunities for that.
Yeah.
And I kind of talked to Pablo. And do you think what could help the team more to finish those chances? Like we have Matt and Chicho missing those.
I think training more, and of course, I think just on a different day, that's a goal. Both of those guys score those goals, and I think it's just some days it goes in, some days it doesn't. So I think it's just about being consistent, but coming back and finishing that, and not letting our head down after the moments like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys see how hard Ojeda works.
Yeah.
What did it mean to the rest of you to see him finally get that first goal in 56 appearances?
I think it was awesome. I think this guy's just up and down, always, everywhere, making tackles, giving us the ball. So I think for him to get that moment and kind of seal the deal for us was cool to see him do that. And, yeah.
Pablo talked about the fact that he had that opportunity because of the runs that the people in front of him made.
Yeah.
And that ability for everybody to see the same opportunity in the same moment to know I have to make a run.
Yeah.
And then that guy has to see the same thing and fill in right behind him. How long has it taken you guys, and how have you developed the chemistry to read the game instantly the same way?
Yeah, I think in that it was a counterattack, right? And I think there was, 4 of us in the box at that moment. And I think it's us just, working our ass off to get into the box, and like that, you saw guys scoot up and they follow the run, and that left the cutback for me and him. I was right there next to him, and I think, things like that is what creates goals. And I think on my goal as well, there's 4 runs, guys running in the box, dropping their defense, and it leads me to cut in and do like that. So I think it's all unselfishness from our teammates and guys working hard off the ball to create chances.
Did it mean a little more given how some of the results went in tournaments with Houston last year?
No, I don't think it. I think it was kind of a totally different thing. Just another league game and getting 3 points against whoever we play and wherever we play.
Given how many chances there were and they weren't finished, a lot of times we see games where when a team doesn't finish a chance, they give up a goal immediately after that. Were you guys focused on not letting that happen?
I think that's definitely something that, occurs a lot in soccer, where you got to punish teams for giving us those chances, or else they're going to, get a chance and punish us. So I think that's definitely something we need to work on, and
There were a lot of Monarchs on the bench for one reason or another. You guys are missing a lot of players right now. There was a lot of up and down in that game. Do you think the group's ready to do that against Atlanta again on the weekend?
Yeah, I feel good, and I think that's why we got to come in tomorrow, get recovery, Friday recover, and then back at it on Saturday. And I think, we have a nice, another week of break after the Saturday game, so we give it all on Saturday.
Anyone else? Anyone on Zoom?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trey.
That's one of the stranger autocorrects I've seen.
That's awkward. I'm just gonna not tweet in Spanish for a bit.
That's a good question. I haven't seen Caleb ask in Spanish.
Where's Caleb?
Bueno, buenas noches, felicidades por la victoria y por el gol. Nomás quería preguntarte cómo se siente marcar aquí enfrente de esta afición.
Buenas noches, ¿cómo estás?
How does it
Sí,
feel to finally be able to score your first goal in front of the fans?
buenas noches, ¿cómo estás? Sí, estoy muy feliz, la verdad, por el primer gol en este club. Que la verdad creo que estamos haciendo bien las cosas. Creo que se refleja en el campo de juego y creo que la actitud de hoy fue todo para sacar el resultado que queríamos.
I'm very happy to score my first goal with the club. Obviously, we're doing something right, and it reflects on the field.
Pablo hablaba de las posiciones que tú juegas, y estaba hablando que eres una pieza muy importante para él en el plantel. ¿Tú crees que en la posición que tú juegas es importante marcar goles o tú crees que estás haciendo el trabajo correcto en esa posición?
So Pablo mentioned that you took very good positions on the field, but with the position that you play, do you think it's important to mark goals, or do you think that you've been doing it right this whole time?
Sí, claro, yo creo que es importante para ayudar al equipo. Creo que todo suma, ¿no? Creo que yo estoy haciendo bien mi trabajo. gracias a Dios ya llegó el gol. Y como dije, estoy muy feliz y creo que estamos haciendo bien las cosas y por eso se refleja en el campo de juego, ¿no?
Obviously, it's always important to score goals to help the team out, but obviously if I do my job correctly, it'll reflect, and it's obviously been reflecting on the field of play.
Brian, creo que fue hace un año que estuviste aquí la última vez con nosotros. En aquel momento estabas a préstamo, después se oficializó tu compra con el Real Salt Lake. ¿Cómo te has sentido tú en toda esta transición de ya pertenecer al club, de que ya estás más tranquilo, que tienes a tu familia aquí? Personalmente, futbolísticamente sabemos que estás en un muy buen nivel, pero personalmente, ¿cómo te has sentido pertenecer a este club también?
So last time you were here was about a year ago, and that time you were on loan. Now you've been officially transferred to Real Salt Lake. How does it feel, not just professionally as a soccer player, because you do that very well, but personally, how are you feeling now, being more settled down with the club?
Respondiendo a tu pregunta, sí, estoy más que bien. Estoy sintiéndome muy bien en el campo de juego. Estoy reflejando mi juego, entonces creo que estos años que pasó me estoy sintiendo muy bien físicamente, futbolísticamente. Creo que el equipo me está ayudando a sacar de mí, ¿no? Y creo que, como dije, el equipo para mí es todo, porque si el equipo está mal, no, todos estamos mal, ¿no? Yo no iba a reflejar mi juego, pero yo creo que esto es parte del equipo, que todos estamos bien y se contagia eso, ¿no?
I feel very good physically and obviously soccer-wise. I'm able to just play my game, but that just come down to my teammates, as they're the ones that are able to get the best out of me. So just again, reflecting on the team's mindset and their attitude is what really makes it contagious.
Una de las cosas que a mí más me gusta de ti cuando juegas es la efectividad que tienes al momento de pasar. Ese gol prácticamente fue un pase a la red. ¿Cómo fue tu visión en ese momento? ¿Viste el espacio y buscaste tirar precisamente porque a pesar fue colocado pero sin tanta fuerza, como te digo? Fue realmente un pase a la red ese gol.
So something you do very well on the field of play is being able to pass. That goal almost just looked like a pass. Will you walk us through that goal?
Sí, he visto el espacio que me dejaron, entonces creo que suelo hacer de que miro para otro lado y le pego, entonces mismo en el entrenamiento, entonces creo que lo hice bien, creo que le engañé al portero, entonces fue gol, eso es lo más importante, ¿no?
Yes, I just saw the space that they had left me, and I do a little fake every time I pass the ball a lot of the times, and it looks like I did trick the goalkeeper, so thankfully I was able to score.
Anybody else?
Anyone in English? DJ? Anyone on Zoom for Ojeda?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Gracias. Felicidades.
Hasta el sábado.
Balón.